You're that girl. Successful, driven, disciplined. You're always the motivator. You're the problem solver. You're the role model for other women. Everyone asks you all the time, is there anything you're not good at? Or the ever infamous, must be nice, you're so lucky. But now you found yourself here between 43 and 47 years old, not sure of who you are anymore. You feel like you don't know anything about yourself. The anxiety spikes, the insomnia, and the sudden weight gain. Perimenopausal and late diagnosed ADHD. If this is you, you are in the right spot. This is me too. 3 years of research and trying and failing, and I finally cracked the code. I came out of it. I'm on the good side of things finally, and I'm here to share with all of you the exact steps I took in order to see results. I was not about to give up or follow the advice that everyone told me, just get used to it. You're in your 40s. This is how it is now. No, that's not how my life was going to go. So I started this channel in order to share with you everything that I went through, to give you the exact replica of what I've done. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just someone who has lived it and come out on the other side of it, and I'm here to share it with you. Oh, and I forgot to mention, who am I even to share this information? Well, I was very, very fit, and then I got fat, and now I'm fit-ish. Getting fit again. Not quite there yet, but nearly. So today's video, I'm going to share with you protein intake. Is it worth the hype? Here's the thing. Protein intake in perimenopause is monumental. It is foundational. It is so, so important. Not only in perimenopause, but you couple that with ADHD and you have got to get your protein intake. Why is this so important, do you ask? Well, allow me to explain. Protein is needed to counteract the decline in estrogen during perimenopause. Okay, now, why does that matter? Lower estrogen levels, even if they are within normal range, they cause muscle loss, they contribute to lower metabolism, gross, and a decrease in bone density. All of these things are bad for us with what we're trying to do with our lives. The good news is you can counteract many of these symptoms with a high protein intake. The higher the protein intake, the more amino acids you are delivering to your body. These amino acids are just building blocks for muscle tissue. So the protein intake is going to help you retain your muscle tissue. You want this all through your life, but especially when you're in perimenopause and you're starting to lose it. We can't only talk about perimenopause in this situation though, because those of us who have ADHD along with it have a much larger hurdle to overcome. Okay, most of us just learned as adult women that we were handed this neurodivergent blessing. I like to call it a blessing, okay? So of course we're still learning to navigate it, because apparently women's health, along with women's right and women's pay, at one point in time, didn't make a difference to anyone. This is a good time for me to stop and ask, because I always forget. If this sounds like you, please like and subscribe to the video. I will not ask you to turn on notifications because I'm here to reduce the symptoms of ADHD, not increase them, and I have no notifications turned on due to this. So I'm not going to ask you to turn those on. Okay, so what's the deal with ADHD brains? We just have some unregulated, chaotic neurotransmitters, especially these three very, very important ones, which are dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Okay, we're not going to get all sciencey. We just need to understand the why behind these things, so it makes sense to you when you're shoveling chicken breasts in your face and salmon and whatever other protein you can get down. Okay, dopamine is your reward chemical. It makes you feel happy or proud or excited when you do something, as my grandma Barb would say, fantastic. You don't necessarily make less dopamine than a normal brain, whatever that is. But your receptors to the dopamine can be numb to the happy chemical that it's supposed to be releasing, which in turn makes it take a much larger dose in order for you to feel the same level of excitement or happiness that most people with a boring brain would feel pretty happy about at a much lower level. And sometimes your little transporter cells that are supposed to be delivering your dopamine to you are actually little thieves, and they gobble it all up before they actually get to the receptors that they're trying to drop them off with. Either way, you don't get the same chemicals to tell you, fantastic, feel good, be happy, get excited. So you go searching for other ways to get the quick dopamine hit, like starting a crazy number of new hobbies, because the rush from starting a new one and learning something that you don't know releases that chemical. Doom scrolling, eating sugary or high carb foods, or drinking alcohol or doing other types of drugs. Honestly, this makes sense why they call some drugs dope. It's literally a dopamine hit. Dope. Okay. Fortunately, you can get those highs from other things though that are healthy, like a really, really hard gym session. That releases the dopamine that you need. We won't go into that in this video. We're not ready for that. We're just talking protein. All right, so we talked about dopamine, the one that we like the most. Then norepinephrine is next. We're going to call her Nora because I'm tongue-tied and I have ADHD, so I stumble on my words a lot. I'm not going to fix it though. Okay, Nora's that friend who just like constantly pulls you back to reality, like, hey, pay attention, look what's going on, you're getting distracted. Nora gives you little bursts of energy and helps you to stay focused. Okay, it's starting to make sense, isn't it? All right, so talked about dopamine, norepinephrine, friendly named Nora. Next is serotonin. We're going to call serotonin Sarah. That's your sleepy, let's relax chemical. And that ever elusive Sarah, she doesn't like to hang out with you. She's supposed to help you get a good night's sleep, but she's unreliable and she doesn't show up for work. Sarah does not care. That's all there is to it. Sarah just leaves you high and dry, probably for the next dopamine hit every single night. Okay, where does protein come into play with all of this? We talked a little bit about what it does with the declining estrogen levels. So with ADHD, protein is also a major, major factor. Protein is delivering those amino acids for you and declining estrogen to help you build up your muscle tissue, keep your metabolism a little bit higher, right? But in ADHD, what it's doing, it's building up some of those amino acids for your brain, the ones that it needs in order to get you back on track, right? To have a healthier supply of them rather than being a minimal supply, and to help them be delivered to where they belong so your dopamine can get delivered to where it's supposed to be going. This is not a cure. I am not a doctor. And this does not take place of medical treatment. I am sharing with you what has worked for me. Okay, so when you don't get enough protein, your body sends out more hunger signals. And you get very, very snacky. Now, unfortunately, with ADHD, you're looking for that dopamine hit, so you're going to go after the sugar snacks and the high carb snacks. This is also unfortunate in your perimenopause journey because you are losing muscle tissue and your metabolism is decreasing. So you are continuing to eat sugary snacks and high carbs, and your metabolism is getting lower, so your weight's going up. Okay, so protein actually keeps you full much, much longer, and it curbs those sugary cravings. I don't know why it curbs the sugary cravings. I just know that it does. So try it and find out. Basically, protein is magical. This is true. It helps with your estrogen decline. It helps build your muscle tissue back up. It helps keep your metabolism higher. It helps your cravings. It helps your dopamine get delivered where it's supposed to be delivered. We need to be eating protein, and a lot of it. How much is a lot of protein? Okay, there's one non-negotiable, and that is within 30 minutes of waking up, 40 grams of protein, period. Within 30 minutes. Do not wait any longer. If you can't get up early enough to cook yourself breakfast or you're not a morning food person, do like I do and make a protein shake. I take 1 scoop of protein, which has 30 grams of protein in it, and 1 tablespoon of frog fuel, which has 15 grams of protein in it. So I'm already at 45 right there. And then I'll add in a little bit of like antioxidants like blueberries, things like that, whatever is going to make it taste good. And sometimes I use ratio protein yogurt. It's a yogurt you can buy at Walmart, and it has 28 grams of protein per serving, which is 2/3 of a cup. I usually put in 1/3 of a cup. So right there, I'm getting a huge protein hit first thing in the morning. Now, there are tons of formulas that you can go find to figure out what's the sweet spot for the amount of protein that you should be intaking. I'm going to tell you that I go between 120 grams and 140 grams a day. That's my range. I'm 5'3". The weight that I am normally stable at before perimenopause was between 135 to 140. Okay, I'm getting back there right now, but at this moment in time, I'm closer to 148 to 150 is my weight. And at my absolute worst, I was 167, which was, okay, I felt terrible. I felt like trash. You can go through the whole analysis paralysis thing and try to find what's exactly right for your protein intake. But if you just go between 120 to 140, you're going to be fine. Don't forget that 40 grams right when you wake up, though. And if you don't believe me, go look up Dr. Stacy Sims. She has a lot of information, and she's actually a doctor. Okay, so you can see how being in perimenopause and having ADHD can make it much, much trickier to manage your weight. It's not impossible though. It doesn't seem fair, and it's probably not, but this is the hand we were dealt, so let's just go with it. And it is absolutely not hopeless. Don't let the normal opinion or the normal person say this is just what happens to you in your 40s, get used to it. No, do not get used to it. Stay persistent, stay consistent, and you will see changes. You need a plan with a system to stay on plan in order to manage it, and it can be done. And we know with ADHD that systems are key. That tells me my next video might need to be about systems, specifically for protein intake, because I do have one. Because with my ADHD, I found it very, very, very difficult to eat regularly. And I have come up with a system that works fantastic, and it's finally smooth sailing. It wasn't right at first, but what were we? We were persistent. Come back for the exact routine that I followed that you can copy so you don't have to come up with your own. And on that note, I'm going to head out and make that video. So I'll see you guys next time.